Hi there, this is Åsa with a new process video. Today I'm making a double page spread again, and this time it was a bit on the edge if I would get it into a single page or not, but I thought that I had a lot to tell, and I decided that these two pages needed to be separate anyway. So that was a decision that I made, but it was not unanimous. I was debating with myself quite a lot, and these photos were taken at Jamtli in Östersund again. So this is still on my series from Jamtli, the outdoor museum that we visited during our stay in Östersund last summer. And this particular part of the park, or the outdoor museum, was like a learning place for kids about energy. And if you have been watching my channel for a while, you might have picked up that I'm a teacher. And I don't work as a teacher today, and I have not worked as a teacher for 5 years. And but I'm still a teacher, like a part of my soul, and I think that I will always remain or be a teacher. And this display kind of impressed me because it was really good. I have been to a lot of museums that want to teach kids about different things, and they kind of miss the target a bit. And it's mainly those, they try to make science like fun and play, and the kids have fun and they play, but they don't learn anything. and that was not the case with this display or event or park. They had, I think, 5 or 6 different kinds of things happening at this area. First of all, everything that took place here got the energy from either the sun. They had large sun panels collecting sunshine and transforming it into electricity. There were, I think, a windmill, or like one of those that have a turbine that produces electricity from wind. I think they had one of those. Then there were a water power plant, a small one, and you could also, with muscle force, drive a turbine yourself and create electricity. And all this was displayed on a really, really nice board with lamps where you could see how much energy was put into the system at any given time. And that was just, that board was perfect, and I loved it so much. I even took photos of it, but on this layout I will only tell it in my journaling. I won't have the photo because it wasn't a good photo anyway. And that energy that they produced at this plant, and which you could produce yourself by moving this turbine, it was used for different kinds of play. And for example, there was a little digging, what do you call it? Let me see. An excavator, it's called. And it was one of those really tiny ones where you sit on the machine itself, and you have some levers and buttons to push to dig in a sandbox. And that was made to work with this energy. And there were also a water cannon which you could aim in different direction, and it was so well done, because you didn't get the water onto any of the visitors at the exhibition, it just went right into a little pond. So that was just perfect. And then there were a couple of other things. And by that pond, which you could shoot water into with a cannon, there was this log rafting chute, or like the canal, where a model of such a canal where you could log raft, or you could do log rafting. So there were small, like 1 meter long, miniature logs that you could fetch downstream and just carry those meters up to the pond, and then you can throw them in the pond. And then there were these long logs with a hook at the end. I don't know what the correct nautical term is, but anyway, you could stand there by the shore of the pond and pull those logs into the rafting chute and pretend that you were the log rafter, or what you can call it, and transport these logs downstream like they did in old times. And here in Sweden, the log rafting and the transportation of logs has a very rich tradition and a long history, because this country is built on forestry. That's totally true. And later on, we also built our economy on metalwork, and for that you needed the coal to get the metal refined, and for making coal you needed more logs and more wood. So everything has been about forestry here in Sweden, and now we also export a lot of paper, pulp and paper. So it's been present all the time in our history. So this with log rafting is of course something very like it's a big cultural thing in our history. So it was fun to show the kids how it works, and I hope that they later on in their life can draw the understand that this is what we were doing when they read about those in history in class. So hopefully at least I can show them these pictures of the 4 of us, or the 3 of the rest of my family, those who weren't taking the photos, when they were pulling these logs into the chute. So lots of fun, and really a learning moment, I think. You have been watching me making a total mess with that background paper. I had to pull off the title that I had placed on that geometrical patterned paper, and luckily I had another piece of that paper so that I could cut out a part and place it over the mess that I had made, because the title die cut tore when I tried to lift it up. So I got the black paper left on the background paper, and some of it just got destroyed anyway. So that was just a total mess. I also made a change in plans, because my first idea was to use that white paper with the houses as the centerpiece of this layout, but then again I didn't like it because the white became just too much. So instead of that I cut out the houses, and I used this lovely green ledger paper as the middle piece instead. So it's 2/3 to the right and to the left, and 1/3 to the right. So I think this is a really nice idea for a simple background for a double page spread. I used those leftover pieces from that house paper to make some journaling blocks, and also to make a block to put to the right of the right photo block. So I'm using one of those like wood grain papers with the same green tone, and just make a piece where I could place some embellishments later on. I have 3 different title elements on this page. To the left I used a font which was a bit like edgy and at the same time classic, and there it's the name of this area of the park, so it's the Kids Energy Playground, and below that it's the name of this outdoor museum, Jämtli, and the last year, the year. On the right side, where I have this log rafting photos, the title is in script and it says 4 handsome log rafters. And as you could see in the Swedish words, they all 3 begins with F, so it becomes a little bit of a wordplay. And the handsome part there, it's almost the same word as we use for the log rafter, and so that's it's a bit of humor in the Swedish version. This is a die that I've had for quite some time, and it's a really nice one with cogs, and I love it. I have a kind of a feel or like a preference for steampunk and anything going that way, so I asked for this for a birthday way back a couple of years ago, and hubby got it for me, and I don't get to use it as much as I would want to, but once in a while when there's like masculine pages or pages with like vehicles and those stuff, I will pull this one out and use it for just these kinds of occasion. And this technology-based layout, I thought that also was a very good opportunity to use these cogs. So I just cut or punched out in black cardstock a couple of those, and I think 2 rounds of that die. There's a whole bunch of them on the same die. I think it's a Swedish die. I think the brand is called Roxy, or some Rox stamps or something like that. And this is a really nice one. I love it. I just placed those randomly on the page. I have added that green wood grain paper in a couple of spots just to form like dividers or bridges on the page, and I've also used a black washi tape to create borders here and there, just to try to contain that huge green surface a bit more, because it got a bit too lost, because the 2 green tones, or the 2 background papers, they are the same color, so it was this huge block of the same color, so it needed some containment, and I thought I did that rather well with that black washi tape. I've also put the same strips on the journaling block and on the opposite side where I had that wood grain paper as well. And you can see here all the houses that I've placed as embellishments, almost like parts of the pattern paper. And here are some close-ups of the fun we had. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed yet another double page spread. Take care. This is Åsa. Bye.